All right, today we're going to get into a story that seriously shook up the crypto world. It's all about trust, technology, and a really, really bad Christmas for a lot of people. So let me ask you something. What if you did everything right? You use a super trusted piece of software, you're on top of your updates like you're supposed to be, and then one of those official updates, the very thing meant to keep you safe, just steals all your money. Sounds like a nightmare, right? Well, this isn't a hypothetical. This is exactly what went down. And the timing? I mean, you couldn't make this up. It's Christmas Day, the market's quiet, everyone's with their families, and behind the scenes, a massive, silent heist is happening. Hundreds of people wake up to find their wallets are just empty. We're talking millions of dollars, poof, gone. And from where? From Trust Wallet. The irony of that name? Yeah, we're going to get into that. Okay, so to really get why this was such a huge shock, we've got to back up a little. How did Trust Wallet become this massive name in crypto anyway? What was the big promise they were selling? So Trust Wallet pops up in 2017 with this really simple, powerful idea. But the real game changer? That came in 2018. That's when Binance, the biggest crypto exchange on the planet, bought them. That single move gave them just a massive boost in credibility and a huge new pool of users. Later on, they rolled out a browser extension, and it basically became the key for tons of people to get into Web3. And to get why it was so popular, you have to think about the problem it was trying to solve. Back then, the old way was just leaving your crypto on an exchange, right? Super convenient, but it meant the exchange held your private keys. Big risk. Trust Wallet came in with a whole different philosophy. Your keys, your crypto. The idea was that you, and only you, had full control. This was pitched as the way safer option. And it wasn't just about security either. This thing became a total Swiss Army knife for crypto. It supported dozens of different blockchains, you could jump right into DeFi and NFTs, and it even had its own dApp browser built right in. For so many people who were just getting their feet wet in crypto, Trust Wallet was literally the first wallet they ever set up. But all that goodwill, that reputation for being trustworthy and easy to use, that's what makes what happened next so absolutely devastating. Because the very thing that was supposed to make the software better, a simple update, well, it turned out to be a digital Trojan horse. And here's the part that's really important to get. The people who lost money, they weren't being careless. This wasn't some phishing scam where they clicked a sketchy link. Nope. They did exactly what we're all told to do. They installed an official update from the official source. The threat was already inside the house. Okay, so how did they actually pull this off? It was pretty clever and pretty scary. Step 1. The attackers sneak some malicious code into the official update package. Step 2. You, the user, install it, thinking you're just getting the latest version. Now, this code, it just sits there, dormant, waiting, until you import your seed phrase. That master key to your entire crypto life. The second you do that, the code wakes up, snags that phrase, and sends it straight to the hacker's server. And just like that, game over. They have everything they need to drain your wallet. And what made this so insidious was how well the code was hidden. It was disguised to look like a boring piece of analytics software, the kind of thing that runs in the background all the time. So for the user, the wallet works just fine. No red flags, no weird glitches, nothing. It was a completely silent attack, happening right under their noses. All right, so the heist happens. How does this whole thing even come to light? Let's talk about the aftermath, the scale of the damage, and really importantly, the official response. When the dust settled, the numbers were just staggering. We're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $6 to $7 million. Just gone. A huge, huge blow for hundreds of people. And this wasn't isolated to one little corner of crypto. The damage spread across multiple big blockchains. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, you name it. A lot of the credit for figuring out just how big this was goes to the blockchain sleuth ZachXBT. He was the one piecing it all together. All the while, the attackers were in a race against time, trying to move and cash out the stolen funds as fast as they could. So, what about the official response? To their credit, it was pretty swift. They got on social media and confirmed the incident. They pushed out an urgent message. Update to the new safe version right now. And they made it super clear that the mobile apps were fine. This was a problem only with the browser extension. But then came the really big one, the most important part of the whole response. The founder of Binance, the company that owns Trust Wallet, came out and made a public promise. He said they would cover the losses. They were going to make the users whole. I mean, that's a massive step toward trying to rebuild some of that shattered trust. Okay, so this whole story, it forces us to zoom out and ask a much bigger question, right? In this crazy complex digital world we live in, where's the actual weak link? Where is the real frontline for security? And it's so important to be clear about who or what is to blame here. It wasn't the users. They did everything they were supposed to. And it wasn't the blockchain. Bitcoin didn't get hacked, Ethereum didn't break, the underlying tech was secure. The failure point was somewhere in the middle. This has a name, by the way. Security experts call it an infrastructure attack. The idea is that the hackers don't go after you directly, and they don't go after the network itself. They attack the bridge that connects you to the network. In this case, that bridge was the wallet extension. So, if there's one big thing to take away from all this, it's that the front line in cybersecurity has moved. It's not always about your password or the network's code. Right now, the most vulnerable piece of the entire puzzle is often the software sitting right in between. And that leaves all of us with a really tough question, doesn't it? If you can't even trust an official update from a huge trusted brand, then where's the real front line for your own digital safety?